Doctors and staff at Millard Fillmore Gates Circle Hospital are celebrating the golden anniversary of the world's first successful pacemaker. News 4's Dr. Peter Ostro has more on this historic milestone.
Pacemakers are common. Millions have been put in, but the first was done at Millard Fillmore Hospital 50 years ago. Dr. Andy Gage, one of the surgeons on that first operation, returned to Millard Fillmore to celebrate. They did something that had never been done before.
Remember, in those years, there was no FDA, no one to say, yes, it's ready, no, it's not ready. But we had a number of units and dogs successfully for 4 months. And we decided, Chardak and I decided it was safe to put it in a human.
It worked, and it lengthened that patient's life. And since then, the technology has advanced dramatically.
By 1974, let's say, the pacemaker work had become so complicated that it was an engineering problem, no longer a surgical problem. And so after that time, the engineers took over and built the pacemaker into the complicated thing it is today.
The first pacemakers were about the size of hockey pucks, only heavier. Now, they're smaller, they can do more, and they last a whole lot longer.
Pacemakers now have considerably more memory and computer power than a lot of the early satellites did.
Dr. Corbelli was just 4 years old when the first pacemaker was implanted. He now specializes in using them to control patients' heart rate and rhythm. The capabilities are truly amazing.
During the middle of the night, the device can wirelessly transmit to a box at the bedside that will get sent to a server to store that information and then be sent to us the next day.
They'll keep getting better, and it started right here.
Oh, I'm glad to be a Buffalonian. I'm glad that it took place here.
And as he said, it's no longer a surgical problem. Cardiologists now put in pacemakers. They make a little incision, thread the wires up through a vein, and sew the pacemaker in place, and it can all be done while the patient is awake.
Is that right? Well, now you showed us the difference in the size over these years. What do you think is coming next?
Well, one prediction is that there will be pacemakers that don't have any wires, just a tiny little device attached directly to the heart. And then there will also be pacemakers that are safe for patients to have an MRI scan with. Right now, if you have a pacemaker, you can't have an MRI scan.
Oh, because of the metal,
yeah.
Right? And a lot of people think that the Great Batch Company was involved here with the pacemaker because of, the proximity here.
Wilson Great Batch developed the battery that made it possible to power an implantable device. That was the key invention that made the pacemaker possible.
So Buffalo connections all the way around here. Thanks so much, Doctor.